Yes, ladies and gentlemen, one more time. Very, very excited on this occasion. I don't think I've spoken to a heavyweight, certainly never a UFC heavyweight champion ever. Stipe Miocic is here, fresh off your big win a couple of weeks ago in Brazil at UFC 198. Just let's start there. What was that the night like? What did it feel like from beginning to end? And take us through the fight.
It was it was a crazy night. I was in Brazil. I was on his home turf. 45,000 Brazilians speaking Portuguese tell me I'm going to die, which is a pretty good time. Walk.
Você vai morrer.
Yeah. So but they're great fans. They're not disrespectful at all from start to finish. And,
Yeah, they were great considering because there were a couple upsets too.
Yeah.
A couple of moments they could have been particularly upset, and they seemed generally pretty cool.
Yeah, they're awesome people. I mean, the whole time I was there, been nothing but gracious to me, and it was a great time. But walking out, it was great. Business as usual. I'm nervous as hell walking out there.
What about walking in though? Like 45,000. It's for UFC standards, which generally speaking are in arenas where you're ranging from 16 to 20,000.
Yeah.
What did the energy feel like, and was it different being in a place that's so big? Does it affect the way you see everything? Like, what does that feel like?
No, I mean, I felt normal. I mean, I'm in an octagon with another man, and that's all I care about. I don't care about what's around me. All I care about is what my coaches are telling me, and, the guy in front of me. So I walked in, I'm bouncing back and forth, and the lights go out, and it's just like camera shots, lights, and it was like the Super Bowl, like halftime the Super Bowl. And I looked at my coach, and I'm like, this is pretty awesome, isn't it? And he's like, yeah, this is pretty awesome. And so, and then, they announced us all that good stuff. And then, we started doing our thing. And, everything he was doing, I knew exactly what he was doing. He was doing a lot of kicks. He was trying for a takedown. He was trying for his knees. And I think I was getting a little more frustrated. That's when he started charging at me and stepped back in the right hand.
Now, you ended up winning with him charging at you, and you threw like a right cross as he was coming at you. Did you anticipate, now, in that moment, does it slow down for you and you're able to think in the moment like, oh, this is an opportunity? Or are you just backing up trying to protect yourself and you throw a punch? Take us through that.
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. I'm backing up. I actually work on that, backing up, stepping to the right. And, he's charging me. And me and my coaches actually work on it quite a bit. And I was always protecting myself too. It's heavyweight division, so anything can happen. And, I just saw him. I was parrying his hand. He kept throwing it. I kept parrying it. And then the second one I caught him with, and, he met my fist and he fell.
So what does it feel like when you realize you've not only just won a match, but you're now the heavyweight champion of the world? What does that feel like?
Honestly, I have no idea still. Like, it still hasn't hit. Like, it's getting a little bit more. It's still surreal. I don't know. It's weird, but I just was so excited after his fight. You saw me. I jumped over the cage. I just wanted to tell my coaches we did it, man. Like, 'cause they put so much effort into me. I was so happy I could, just show them something that, like, hey, you guys did this. The reason I'm here is because of you. You're the reason why I won the title. I want to show you thank you so much. Because if it wasn't for them giving up their time and sacrificing all their stuff for me, I would never be where I'm at.
Now, you're a firefighter.
Yes, sir.
What's the order for you in terms of when did you get really serious about fighting? When did you train to become a firefighter? Take us through a little bit of adulthood for Stipe.
I got done with college.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to Cleveland State and then Trevecca.
Okay, you're Cleveland through and through.
Yeah.
Croatian immigrant parents to Cleveland.
Yep.
Is there a big Croatian community there?
Yeah, huge.
Okay, so that's a big market for Croatians generally.
Yeah. A little bit, like probably 15, 20 minutes east of Cleveland, but they're all in Cleveland too with the church and everything.
And let me guess, there's also a good amount of Croatians in New York.
I'm throwing you're probably yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, what I always find is with like every denomination, it's like you have a random place in the country where there's a ton, and then the next biggest market's always New York, if it's not the first biggest market. So, all right, so you grow up with Croatian immigrant parents.
Yeah.
What did your parents do?
Well, I lived with my mother.
Okay.
She worked for a logistics company. She worked night shift, all that stuff. Man, she was an animal. She work all night, go to sleep during the day, take me to practice, go back home.
And what practices was she taking you to?
Football, baseball, bowling. I mean, just name it all.
You were doing it all.
I was a jock when I was a kid.
Okay.
Nothing, dumb jock, nothing new.
What was your best sport?
I don't know. I think it was baseball. Baseball was the funnest. And I got older. I started wrestling when I was in middle school. But she was a champion. She dead tired, and she would just be sitting there in a little chair. She had a little sewing thing. She'd be sewing like a little picture.
Just like keep herself busy.
Yeah, I mean, she loved every second of it. And then she'd drop me out, and we'd go back home. She'd go back to bed and go to work that night.
Wow. So you go to Cleveland State. Mm-hmm. You play any sports there?
Baseball, wrestling.
Baseball and wrestling there. All right, so that's pretty serious. That's pretty serious wrestling. And then after school, what happens?
I get done, and I didn't want to be stuck in an office, so I wanted to be a fireman or policeman. And a bunch
You
of
don't seem like an office guy, I'll be honest.
Yeah, right. I'd be like Larry Tate, linebacker officer.
Exactly.
Tackling people.
Yeah, exactly.
No, yeah. So I had a bunch of friends who were firefighters, and they told me what they did. I'm like, who would want to do that? So I started going back to school for paramedic, and then I was training at a gym just to make money on the side. Like food money, gas money, all that good stuff. And
training other people.
Yeah, just like lifting wise.
Just getting them in shape.
In shape, yeah. Mm-hmm. And so the guy that owned the gym was friends with Dan the Bull Bobish, and he's like, hey, I got this guy. Would you want to wrestle with him and help him for a fight? I'm like, well, yeah, for sure, or whatever. And so I literally helped him, and I never left the gym.
So you were going to help someone else who was training and be like a partner, just like wrestle with them and give them some practice?
Just like once or twice a week, yeah, I'd go out wrestle with them.
And how did it transition from wrestling to just doing MMA and learning all the different art forms and skills that are required for that?
Well, when I started helping them, they're like, "You're gonna fight." I was like, "Yeah, that's a good one. I don't want to get punched in the face. Like, who wants to get punched in the face? Look at his face; it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. God did work on that. Why would you want to mess it up?
Right? No, but and so I started training more, and just got so involved. It was like a puzzle to me. I was watching videos on YouTube. I was like, man, what amazing. And then I got hit for the first time, and I'm like, that's it? That's not that bad. And then from then on, I loved it. I just wanted to do everything, learn everything about it.
Well, that's really interesting. Let's take that for a second. So was it in training when you first got hit and really felt it?
Yeah.
So in training, you took a good shot to the face. Mm-hmm. What was it? Do you remember what kind of punch it was?
Well, the best story is when I walked in, they told me, you're going to spar today. And I said, yeah, good one, And then my head coach, Marcus, was like, no, you're going to spar. You wanted to throw me with the baptism under fire. You want to throw me in there and see how I react. I'm like, I don't even have a mouth guard. And one of the guys was like, I got one. And so I have a huge mouth. This guy has a tiny little piece of mouth guard. And I'm like, this sucks.
You're covering my front 4 teeth.
Yeah, right. So then I started sparring, and I had no idea. My hands were down. Like, I didn't, it was before we really had headgear and like shin pads. So we just had boxing gloves. And I'm, trying to move out of the way. And I got hit with a right hook. And I got hit. And I was like, oh, that's it.
And it was a clean shot?
Oh, right on the chin. And I got hit. And I was like, it was Forrest Pets. He used to fight in the UFC, and he hit me. And I was like, oh, that's not that bad. And then that's, I started wailing. I didn't care at that point. And then they realized I didn't know how to check leg kicks and stuff. And then they just started beating the crap out of my legs. And I couldn't walk for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, that must be bad.
Yeah.
If you have no idea how to check a leg kick and you're just taking them the whole time.
That was terrible. And then I couldn't, when I used the bathroom, I couldn't sit down right. It was bad. It was my leg. It was the color of your shirt. You have a black shirt. It was the color of my leg.
Yeah. So that's an interesting thought, because I always think about the same thing, is like, who wants to get punched in the face? And you had the exact same thought process. Now, has it proven to continue to be true that you take shots and they're not that bad for you?
Oh, no, they hurt, especially with small gloves on, those little MMA gloves.
Right.
They do suck, especially being in the heavyweight division. I mean, it takes one. I mean, I lost one of my fights by TKO, unfortunately. I didn't get knocked out, but I got stopped, and it is what it is. I mean,
sometimes it is. You feel it.
Yeah, yeah. When I fought JDS, that felt pretty good.
So what's next for you? Where do you go? The heavyweight division is an interesting division. It's not in UFC. It's not necessarily always the division that gets the most talk, which makes it unlike boxing, where it's like people are always waiting for a big heavyweight. In UFC, I do think people have been waiting for a big, exciting heavyweight. And sort of post Brock, there hasn't been like that number one draw name in the division that people have been desperate to see. Who do you see out there that could really be interesting for you and generate some money and help you build your legacy?
I think everyone. When I come to fight, I come to fight. I don't sit there and take my time. I mean, listen, I'm trying to beat you up. I'm trying to win the fight. I'm trying to go home. And so whoever they put in front of me, I'm going to come in with a great game plan. I'm going to win. So whoever it is, if it's Overeem, or it's Kane or JDS, they're all great fighters. And when I walk in there, I'm confident enough. I know I'm going to
win. Do you have? I've talked about this with fighters before. Is it interesting? You seem like a nice guy. You don't seem like someone who's particularly aggressive in life.
Thank you.
Would you consider yourself not that aggressive a guy outside the ring?
No, man. I'm loosey goosey, man. I don't like fighting outside. I don't. I mean, when I'm at home with my fiance, reality child, she wins the fights usually because I usually give in.
Exactly. Well, good man.
Happy wife, happy life.
Wife. I know. It's the truest thing ever. It doesn't matter if you're my size or yours. It's always the same once you get home with your girl. But so is it hard for you? Like, have you had situations, and this happens, relatively often, in which you're fighting someone and you're winning and about to win and want to get the win, but can be hesitant because you don't want to hurt your opponent?
No, he's trying to hurt me. I'm trying to hurt him.
But like, what about when they're at the point when or have you not had that situation? In other words, by the time they're in a situation where they're kind of incapacitated, it's always gotten stopped for you. Because you have that rare moment where these days I think refs are getting better and better at calling it when they should call it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they walk a fine line because a lot of people paid a lot of money and
want to see someone die.
well, they want to see what they think is a decisive victory, right?
Yeah.
And then you have fighters who also want to lose in a decisive way if you're going to stop the match.
Yeah.
So they're not complaining to you saying that you took their shot away. So the refs can end up in a tough spot of when to end it. But every blue moon, you will see that moment when someone's down and taking punches and the fighter sort of looks up at the ref like, are you going to end this fight? So in a moment like that, if it was to come up, do you feel, is there a hard thing there? Or are you just thinking, I'm leaving it to the ref, I'm going to get through it as best I can?
Yeah, I mean, I think the refs are amazing. I think they do a great job of what they do. They stop when it needs to be stopped. And, listen, every guy would say the same thing. They're going to come in, they're going to do what they do in the fight. They're not going to just. And if the guy's out cold, yes, you're going to, like when I fought, Fabricio, he was out cold. And
you knew.
I knew. I gave him a couple punches, but it wasn't like devastating.
Right. You were like testing him out to see.
I was just like, is he going to move? Is he going to move? Just to make sure.
Right.
But it wasn't like I was hurting him. It was just taps, but. I think
then
I think just momentum too. I think I just like, holy crap, as he's out, and then let's give him a couple of taps.
How much do you remember after a situation like that? When you got TKO'd, for example, like, is it clear? Are you able to break down what happened? Do you know the moment that you made the mistake?
Yeah,
and things started to turn.
Yeah, I mean, I just I lost the fight. I mean, there's nothing more I could say about it. The guy caught me with a good right hand. I stumbled around and like, my mind was telling me move, but my body was like 2 seconds behind.
That's got to be a frustrating feeling.
Oh man, I watched it one time. I like was gonna vomit. I was so sick of like just watching it, and I'm like, oh, here comes an uppercut, whap, and I quit, and then I move. It is what it is.
How excited is the city of Cleveland about having a champion?
Oh, I've got nothing but great, it's amazing support, and it's awesome all over Twitter, Instagram. It's been amazing.
Are you a Cleveland fan through all sports?
Oh yeah.
So I mean, hey, you got a series now.
Oh
2-2.
man, I was so.
I mean,
I got home. My flight got delayed like a bunch of times yesterday, and magically, I don't know, I found another flight to get on. They threw me on there, so I got to the hotel, and it's like beginning of the fourth quarter. I get to my hotel, and of course, the line's like 10 deep. I'm like, at 10 o'clock at night? Are you serious?
Oh, to check in.
Yeah, I was like, no way. So I'm like checking my phone and refreshing, and then finally get to the.
And they're coming back. They're in the middle of making their comeback. The Cavs are coming back on Toronto.
I was in the car. They're down 14. I get in the hotel line. They're up by 2. I'm like, no way. So I'm like, I run upstairs. I just threw my stuff down. I'm watching the game. And I'm like, they're up by 2. And then the wheels came off.
Yeah, that was a very odd circumstance to see them come all the way back. I think they were down like 18 at one point, and to come all the way back and then have them lose. It is a weird situation because you have 2 series in which the experts sort of already made a decision about what was likely to happen before it even started. I mean, more so in your series. I mean, everyone acted as if Toronto, like, why were they even showing up to play this series? Mm-hmm. And now I think, and then yesterday I heard everyone saying, well, they got 1, but it's going to go 5 and it's over. And now you have a real battle on your hands.
Yeah, you got to look at Toronto, man. I mean, we're going to win the series. I know we are, but like Toronto's just young and they're cocky in a good way. They're like,
they're hungry and they believe.
They got a chip on their shoulder. Like, you know what? I don't care who you are. We're going to win. And it's a tough thing. And like with Oklahoma City, everyone's crapping on them the whole year. And I think they're kind of like, screw everyone. Like, we're going to win.
Well, my one thing about Oklahoma City that I've always felt is that, listen, they may have not put it all together yet, but the fact of the matter is you're talking about one of the best 2-man tandems we've ever seen.
Yes.
Ever. So, like, if they put it together and and their other pieces do their job, they could have a chance. And here we have it. Are you a big Browns fan as well?
Oh, yeah, huge, yeah.
Are you excited? Are you excited to see what RG3 can do?
Yeah, super nice guy too. Actually, I went to watch him practice, and he came up to me and shook my hand.
Nicest guy in the world.
What a good dude. I was like, what a great guy.
Dude, he is the nicest guy in the world.
Right?
And did he seem comfortable? Did it seem like this is a good, like it could be good?
I was at the practice watching him, man, and I was getting pumped up watching because the coach was so into it. It was watching your little league. Hey, come on, let's go. Getting in their face, not in a bad way, but like just get pumping them up. And I'm like, man, give me a uniform. I'm going to jump in there. Like,
Dude, they probably find a spot for you.
Oh, God, no. I'll be the water boy. I'm good with
What
that.
was the most glorious moment in your life in Cleveland sports? I mean, there has not. That's what makes it so special that you're there. I think you're the first champion of any variety, like 52 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, what in your childhood? What was the great? Was it the Cavs losing the Mark Price, Craig Elo Cavs?
Bring it up now,
I'm
man.
sorry, I'm trying to think of. I mean,
You gotta bring it up now. I'm gonna
I
cry.
mean,
right
I
now.
know. Don't cry. Don't cry. But what is the highlight as far as where Cleveland sports went?
I don't know what to say. We had some bad luck. It is what it is. But it's turning now.
What a moment it's going to be, though. One of these teams is going to happen for.
Yeah.
And
It's gonna be this year.
and it
Cavs
could
are
be
gonna do
it could be this year. You never know.
It will be this year.
You really think so? You think the Cavs?
100%.
You think the Cavs are going to escape the series, and then you think they'll beat Golden State or Oklahoma City?
I'm glad they're getting pushed a little bit because it shows it's not easy.
Yeah.
You got to. It's you can't be like beating everyone and be like, oh, we're good. Like you got to get tested. Because like when you see someone that's beating everyone and all of a sudden like, I'm gonna walk in and do what I want, and then all of a sudden they get beat, they're like, oh my god, like no, because that person wasn't ready. I'm glad they didn't win. Was it 12 in a row, whatever it was. I'm glad they lost 2 games. Because now they're gonna come in, they're gonna
They'll be
they're,
more
they're gonna get
focused.
the chip on their shoulder now.
Johnny football story is pretty sad. Did you ever see him out and about in Cleveland or anything?
I actually had one. Funny story. I was at the Indians game, and we have a mutual friend. He's a GM of a couple of the bars in Cleveland, and I played baseball with him. And so we're walking to the Indians game, getting food, and I was like, "Hey, what's up, man?" I'm like, "Hey, we're talking," and we walked by. My fiance was like, "That was Johnny Manziel." I'm like, "No, it wasn't." Like, he was like, I didn't realize how he's very short.
No, he's tiny.
I didn't realize how short he was. And sure enough, it was him. I didn't even realize it.
Yeah, sad story, the Johnny football story, where he's at right now. I just read a story. There's a story out there today about how worried his friends are about him. His drug habit seems to be getting worse. It just seems interesting. Do you have anyone in your life, like if you started getting really gassed off of this becoming champion, I mean, I'm guessing it's your fiance, but are there other people in your life to sort of, the person who's there to slap the shit out of you and go, yo, what the? I just never understand how people don't have anyone who's there to be like, dude, what are you doing?
I have a list. Well, it's going to start with my mother first.
Okay, all
my
right.
mother would beat the crap out of me. Then my fiance, and then my coaches, my teammates. I mean, I'm never going to ever get to that point. Like, I would never put myself in the position, being a firefighter and being with the city, I would never disrespect the city or anything like that.
So how does your firefighting career work now?
It's still usual. Well, I'm part-time at Duty Department, which is great because I can pick my shifts a month in advance. So, and then my chiefs are awesome. They give me a little bit of leeway. I get my hours and everything. So, like tomorrow I work 24 hours. So then
You're going right back to work.
Yeah, I already worked last week. Actually.
So you're doing your promo run right now as champion of the world, and then you're going right back to firefighting.
Yeah, actually, Dave's awesome because Dave gave me the day off because I was supposed to be here till Wednesday. And I was like, I got to work. And he said, no problem. So then I was supposed to work Thursday, too, at the other station, but I'm doing a Make-A-Wish thing. So, I called off.
That's important
Yeah,
also.
it's a little bit more important. So
Yeah,
then-
that's great.
So, yeah, and then, I got the weekend off, which is nice. And I get my bachelorette party. We're doing a combined thing this weekend. And then next week, go back to work.
And when's the wedding?
June 18th.
Wow, right around the corner.
Yeah, right. It's a battle I heard I'm never going to win. So,
Yeah, that's amazing, dude. Congrats.
thanks, man. I appreciate it.
What's the craziest situation you've been in as a firefighter?
It's funny because like these buildings are getting built so like sturdy now with it doesn't catch on fire as easy. So a lot, I've had a few little fires, nothing crazy, but I've had a lot of like car accidents and stuff like that. We've had some, pretty interesting, like ones you couldn't, you're like, wow, how did that person even make it out with a scratch? Nothing like terrible, Good. Cleveland's a lot worse, but like the one city I work for, there's always something. It's like, you ever see that movie Hot Fuzz where that guy goes there and like nothing ever happens, but all of a sudden crazy stuff's happening. That's how this city is. Like nothing's happening. All of a sudden,
Boom.
This car is flipped over and this car is like catching off. I'm like, what just happened here? Like,
What about during training? What was the hardest piece of training? Because I hear the firefighter training is no joke.
Well, for firefighting training?
Yeah.
I just stay in shape, so that helps out no matter what. But like the academy was tough because you do a lot of PT and stuff like that, and just dragging hose and hitting the axe and stuff like that. That gets tough. Just learning it, but now it's not as bad. It's more just drills and stuff like that when we do it, and you do a lot of film work.
Is there endurance stuff though that helps you, that works nicely with your fighting from being a firefighter?
Oh yeah, and just when we got the tank on, the tank's supposed to be for 45 minutes, but when you're inside of a house, you're like you're breathing so fast that it goes from 45 to half an hour real quick.
Right.
So me being in shape, I can keep my breath calmer and stuff like that. Some guys are a little bit heavier set, so it's a little bit harder for them.
Did you hear about the big fight between FDNY and NYPD this week?
No.
Yes, there's in a charity football game. This happens somewhat regularly. They had a charity football game, and NYPD and FDNY got into like a serious brawl. Like it was supposedly, yes, crazy brawl. Do you know of any in Cleveland? Is there any sort of rivalry between the fire department and the police department?
Well, I'm okay because my coach is a Cleveland cop, so I'm okay with that. So
Right.
I'm gonna be okay between.
You can hover right in the middle.
Yeah, I'm like.
Well, that's probably good because I'm guessing nobody on either side really wants you in the fight if that was to ever pop off.
Yeah, no, I've never heard anything bad. Like I'm friends with everyone. I got a lot of friends in Cleveland Fire. I got a lot of friends in Cleveland Police. I've never heard anything. Don't sit there and talk smack about each other, but jokingly.
Nothing serious.
No.
Hey, well, listen, UFC heavyweight champion of the world, Stipe Miocic. Congratulations. I'm guessing we'll probably see you pop up something like UFC 203, 04, something like that. That's if I was guessing. We have 199 around the corner, but we don't know a set date yet on your return, correct?
No, nothing yet. Yeah, but sure.
I mean, right now, all eyes are sort of pointing towards Las Vegas in July for 200, which is around the corner.
I'll be there.
And yeah, I'm sure you will be. You're going to have the camera on your face.
I hope so.
No, you will. That's going to be the best experience. To be at 200 at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas.
That arena,
it's amazing.
I went there before. I was actually the first UFC fighter to walk in there before it was even built. It was they were finishing it up, and it just the angle of the seats. I mean, it's like a gladiator. Everyone has a great seat. There's no bad seats.
It's awesome.
Oh my god,
it's so cool.
I'm like, I want to fight here.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you'll get your chance, and it'll be nice to be hanging out at 200 just as a resting champion, holding your title. So that'll be pretty great. Congratulations, man.
Hey, thanks a lot for having me on. Honestly,
a pleasure. Stipe Miocic.